Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are in for pull. I am 10 days out as of today. Exciting times.
Yeah, so we kind of started, I guess, peaking a little bit in terms of modifications to expenditure. We started that, what was it, last week with the cardio or the week before that?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago actually.
A couple of weeks ago with the cardio, so the cardio was the first thing to go. Weren't doing a ridiculous amount anyway, but it was a decent stressor on the legs. That came out, weight dropped down further, legs tightened up a little bit more, actually quite a lot more to be fair. We learned a good bit out of that in the sense that expenditure was one of those nice tools that, you know, we don't have to sort of like have to look daily at what the food's doing because, you know, we're not changing that. But we can look over the course of every 3 days and be like, okay, the legs are fresher, and obviously you feel it every day as well with the fatigue drop off. So it's like one of the most important factors in peak and physique is actually just getting fatigue as low as you can. It's not going to be completely gone, but if you lower fatigue, you're going to have a better base to start to increase food and make those modifications. So that's kind of what we've been doing with cardio, and then today we just dropped down the steps a little bit. That's our next modification, which will run us through until Monday. And then from Monday, we'll start probably just tapering up the food a little bit. And now it's going to be minor modifications to food. Again, big key point with peaking is that you need to peak to your class and to your criteria. If you're trying to go for like a dry, full, hard look for like a figure girl with like 120 pounds or 110 pounds on stage, like what are you looking to achieve with that? You know, it's like you're not going to get that. That's not a look that you even need. The look that you need for figure is actually not that far away from just dropping fatigue and increasing calories a little bit. That's really not that far away. So like the peak doesn't have to have some crazy modifications that you'd maybe look to do for that extra 2 to 5% you're going to achieve net benefit with a bodybuilder. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at from my side.
Yeah, he's wrapped that up very well. But it means that for me as like an athlete as well, there's not really a huge amount that feels different, to be honest.
Yep.
And that's another thing is like, it's so low stress. Which is another major thing with like any peaking protocol is like, you can look on paper and go, oh, this creates this crazy effect and we're gonna, you know, try and push for an extreme look. But then you have to take into consideration like, what's going to be the best approach for that athlete based on their stress response as well. So there's so many things that have to come into consideration, but for me it just like, it doesn't feel too simple, but like it's like the day-to-day is like just so simple. Like I'm just still doing the same stuff day by day.
Some of my best peaks with bodybuilders have been literally this style of peak anyway. So it's like pulling away on the cardio, pulling away on the steps, and then linear loading, gradually loading the food into the show. I think, you know, with Loz, the difference will be is like probably aim to get pretty much how I want her looking on stage by about maybe Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
And then have like Friday or Saturday to kind of just taper back a little bit. Just because you really do not want a lot of food volume going in. I mean, I doubt that the food volume is going to have to get very high, but you don't want a lot of food volume going in 1 or 2 days out when, again, class specific, but the waist has to be, the midsection has to be perfect. So it can't, it's the same with men's physique as well. Bodybuilders, you can pretty just about get away with higher food volume 1 or 2 days out, but with, you know, bikini, physique, figure, you know, the waist and the everything that controls around the stomach, it just has to be perfect. So
yeah, that's about it. So we will crack on with the pull day. I also apologise for the pastiness in my physique at the moment, and having to do the skin prep, which I don't enjoy because I'm a regular fake tanner, so this is not a part that I enjoy very much, but it is what it is. We will probably start having to do some base coat tans a little bit earlier for me because I am literally that white, it's ridiculous. But yeah, crack on with the session, take you guys through it. Hope you enjoy watching along. So we're also back to just like normal volume. As we went through the last videos, I'd obviously just ran a D-vol just because I was at a point where I needed to drop off training fatigue. I think that if it works out, I said this last time, you need to drop off training fatigue in the peak week. You do that because the goal is to lower fatigue and bring a low stress, fresh look to the stage. You don't want to be getting on stage too fatigued, but if you need to run a deload or a devolume before that, like, you need to run it. You know, like, you can't just run yourself into the ground, otherwise you will be fucked by the time the show comes around. So, devolume boxed off, back with normal volume training. I am not trying to do anything ridiculous in these sessions, like, just like I suppose the rest of prep, but this is not a time where you're trying to go even harder, like, push yourself even more, take these stupid reps, because you're again not, well, firstly, you're not growing, so this is like not the time to be trying to create novel stimulus, but you're also not just trying to smash yourself into the ground. Like, you kind of have to appreciate that you come in, you train hard, like, you're still trying to maintain your sets, but just don't take anything that is stupid, don't take anything that's going to run you into the ground that you just don't need to be doing. Like, you're here to kind of do a job now as such, especially around the shows. So yeah, training is like back at full send, like I'm training hard, just as usual, not doing anything stupid, not doing anything where I could hurt myself, not doing anything that's going to bury me massively. But other than that, it's just a normal session, normal training. Grateful to be here. So what you got to remember is, like, enjoy training. Like, this is why we do it. So yeah, it's just a normal session today. Yeah. So one thing that I actually do on this machine, you can do this on any pin load machine, is I do stick on a 2.5 kilo. Now, this machine does have some smaller increments, but I find that they're a little bit sticky. I don't like using them, so I just add that on, so it's much easier. And this is something that you can do if the increments are maybe a little bit too big from one pin to the other. And this happens a lot, where sometimes you'll do like one pin and you can get like 20 reps, and then the next pin down you get like 4. So bridge the gap, and that can be helpful if you just need to hit a rep range. It can also be really, really, really helpful in gaining phases when you are actually growing, so that you don't get carried away with trying to progress movements at a faster pace than you can actually progress, because you're just trying to like go the next pin up and you're just trying to progress too fast, and then, you know, like the actual integrity of the movement maybe just drops off there. It just feels worse. So utilize little things like that, like 1 kilo plates even. They're phenomenal, they're great tools, and all those little things add up.
Nice, come on. Great. Lovely, nice.
Ooh. Now we go. Yeah, we'll see again. Yes.
Whoa. Whoa.
No.
Lovely.
Usual setup then in this session. Pull down, into row, into row, into another row, into a pull down. It's the same thing over and over again. And I'm sorry guys, because I know that it's like not interesting. You probably want to see me do something different. If you stay tuned for off season, there'll probably be some more exciting things. But at the same time, you should keep doing the same things over and over again, especially if they feel good and they work well. But yeah, we're just on here, so I've got 2 sets on here, same as usual. I just wanted to mention as a side note, so I was thinking about it. trying not to actually move around too much in this session. I intentionally, throughout like most of prep and when I'm dieting, like I don't let myself just slump around the gym. You know, like you see people just like absolutely hanging around, and they'll be like throwing on the floor. And that's when like your knee is just coming down massively. And then often that's where people's like step count for cardio is having to go up so much, because you're just putting so much less effort into like just normal things like how you conduct yourself in between sets. But for me today, I am actually having to try not to move too much because my steps have been brought down. It's important that I actually adhere to that, because I naturally now am in the habit of like, being really active and moving a lot and doing like 17,000 steps a day. But like, I can't do that now. Like the goal is that I need to pull back, and that can be really difficult, but you have to hold yourself accountable with that and go like, right, okay, I'm doing this for a reason. My coach is making the choices that are obviously right for me to look my best on stage. And that is now the goal, bringing your best physique to the stage, not just doing more and more and more, because bodybuilding is not just about doing more and more, it's about bringing a competitive look, and different things are required in order to do that. Boom.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Oh, fuck me. So a really good thing to know, because I think a lot of people worry about this, is that, don't be afraid of keeping your normal routine or still working or having a busy, demanding job during prep. I actually think that it's a really good thing to be busy during a prep. I, from personal experience, can tell you that doing like absolutely nothing will make that prep really difficult. Like if you're not working or you're not doing anything and you just sat around at home all day just thinking about how tired you are or when your next meal is or doing more steps or doing your cardio, like mentally you're going to tap out, but it's just going to make those days so long, make the prep so long. So rather than almost over glorifying it and thinking everything has to be prep, just kind of keep your routine pretty much the same. Like, don't be afraid of being busy with work or saying yes to plans and things that you can do, because that will just like, one, de-intensify the prep, but also just make those days so much more enjoyable and so much easier for you to manage as a whole. Cool. going to tell you all right now, biggest waste of your time, biggest waste of your energy in prep, especially if you get nearer to your shows, is spending any time whatsoever on Instagram looking at other people that are doing your show, or even just looking at other competitors across the season. It might be people not doing your show and doing other shows or whatever it may be. It is literally the biggest waste of your energy for a couple of reasons. The first one being is that it doesn't really tell you anything. You know, you're looking at somebody else's check-in in a different location. You know, like they're checking in maybe outside in their house, not comparable to your check-in shots. You're maybe looking at the shots in the gym when they've got a punch with a crazy photographer or whatever it is. Like even looking at somebody backstage, it's not reflective of how you're all going to look on a lineup in the same lighting, on stage, on show day. That is the only thing that actually matters comparatively. And then even outside of that comparison, there's nothing that you can do to change how somebody else looks or how you look compared to somebody else. You are where you are, and you've probably worked extremely hard to be your absolute best, as has everyone else as well. You know, we're all at different stages in our journey. We all have different responses, we're all at different points. Don't spend any time wasted looking at what other people are doing or how they look. You need to, at the end of the day, just come back to going, have you done your best? Are you presenting your best? Are you enjoying your bodybuilding journey, which is the pursuit of continually being the best? That is the only thing that matters. That's that session wrapped up then. I have just got 3 sets of abs, and then I will go and do my usual posing afterwards. But it's been a good session. Like I said at the start, it's not really too much else to kind of touch upon. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching the session still. I think it's still good to give you just an accurate reflection of just what things are looking like at this point in general. And I hope that you have all still enjoyed kind of like following that along. We are going to have hopefully a little bit more of, I suppose, a bit of an update, a run through for you guys in the next video, which will be on Monday, the 19th of August, which will mark me at 6 days out from the first show. So as we mentioned at the start, by then I'll have had a few days of slightly lower expenditure and will possibly, very likely, have started to just taper up that food. So I'll be able to kind of guide you through what that's looking like and maybe do a little bit of a physique update as well, which, you know, it might not be pretty. As I said, I'm not enjoying this like pale phase, and I'll still be obviously pretty flat from Monday, but I'm not just here to show you the highlights. I do want to make sure that I can show you the whole process, because how much of social media is a highlight reel, and then you're looking at that and thinking, you know, whenever you have a bad day or whenever you think you don't look, you know, Instagram perfect or whatever it is, you think you look shit. And you probably don't. Like, we all go through these phases, especially when it comes to competition prep. Like, you literally will probably, hopefully, you know, look your best on show day, but there's a lot of fluctuations outside of that. So please do stay tuned if you want to see those upcoming videos. And if you've got any requests at all as well, with like things that you want to see and things that you want to hear me talk about specifically when it comes to the show days or the peaking process or anything at all, please do shoot them in the comments below so that we can bring you guys that content. But yes, like, subscribe, stay tuned if you want to see more of that in the future. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one.